Hello everyone. 大家好. Welcome to our Mandarin Chinese online course for beginners. My name is Xingyi Huang, and I'm the Mandarin Chinese instructor of Taiwan Education Center at SRMAP. This course is opened by Taiwan Education Center at SRMAP. If you are looking for some information about our Mandarin Chinese course or study in Taiwan, you can always visit our Facebook page or write an email to us. Today's lesson is about measure word, 量词. The first part, we are going to give you some introduction about measure word, how we use the measure word and when we use the measure word in Mandarin Chinese. Firstly, let's see what is measure words. Measure word is when you want to indicate or describe quantities, you need a measure words. You need a measure words. And a measure word is placed between the numbers and the nouns. Between the numbers and the nouns. There are many measure words in Chinese. Different measure words are used with different nouns. So when learning a new noun, you need to pay attention to the measure words that can be used with it. For example, let's have a look in here. If you want to say three peoples, we would say 三个人, 三个人, and 个 is the measure word for the person, for any kind of person or even teacher. Okay, but in here we have the other way to say three teachers, because this way is for a polite term to say the person. So 三位老师, 三位老师. If you also can say 三个老师 is also fine, because 个 is for person, any kind of person. If you want to say about the Indian, Taiwanese people, or your family, it's all the person related to the person. Okay, so 三个人, 三位老师. So you can see that each different nouns, we have different measure words. Okay, and then if you want to say an apple, 一颗苹果, 一颗苹果. 苹果, it means apple. Okay, one apple. In apple, we will say 一颗. 颗 is the measure word for apple. Generally, 颗 is for the things that look like a bowl. Okay, so 苹果, 一颗苹果. And then if you want to say full pens, we will say 四支笔, 四支笔. Okay, so 支 is the measure word like this shape, okay, like a bar shape object. Okay, and how we use that? We just place the measure word between the numbers and the nouns. It's just like English, a piece of cake, a slice of paper, okay, 2 slices of pizza. Okay, so it's not that difficult. The only thing difficult, we in Mandarin Chinese, we have a lot of kind of measure word related, depend on what kind of noun you use. Okay, so let's see. There's one thing you might need to know is this. Okay, when to go with the measure word, the have to use 两 instead of. Okay, we have to use 两. Okay, when the number is 2, we don't say plus measure word. For example, if you want to say 2 people, we don't say 二个人, we say 两个人, just like this one. 两个人, we don't say 二个人. That's only one exception. We have to change to 两 when you are talking about the quantities or amount. Okay, so 两个人 and 2 apple, 2颗苹果 We don't remember that we don't say 2颗苹果. Okay, that's only one thing you have to remember when you are talking about the measure word, the quantities. Number 2, have to change to 两 instead. Okay, and then 2 books, 两本书 2 books. Okay, in the next part, we are going to learn the 12 common measure word we will use in our daily life. Okay, so here are the 12 measure word we use very frequently in our daily life. Okay, so now I want you guys to repeat after me. Okay, 个杯枝 Okay, remember, we see that the H here. It means you have to curl your tongue spell word when you pronounce 枝. Okay, and this one, 量味平 Okay, this have same pronunciation like this one. Okay, so you have to curl your tongue spell word. 枝章 Okay, this one is the same. You have to curl your tongue spell word to pronounce 章. Okay, 快罐本科 Okay, so these are the 12 common measure words we will use in our daily life. Then here, there's one more thing you have to pay your attention. Is these 2 measure words. Okay, you can see that the pinyin syllables here, the pinyin syllables are completely the same, right? It means they have the same pronunciations. The different thing is the characters is different, right? The characters is different. Okay, so let's see what the difference between each one measure word. The first one, 个 is the most frequently used measure word, and it's used as the measure for many different nouns. So if you don't know which one measure word you should use, simply you can just try to use 个 because it might be correct. Okay, so 个 is a measure word very important, and you will hear it very frequently. Okay, and the second one, 味 Okay, in the previous slide, you saw that I say 三位老师. Okay, 三位老师. Okay, only can be used in person. Okay, only like 个 for the person. Okay, 一位老师，一位台湾人. Okay, it only can be used for person and with a polite turn. Okay, it's very formal. So usually we will use with the customer or teacher. Okay, and the third one, 快is a measure word we use for the money or like a piece. For example, if you want to say $3 for any kind of money, whatever. So it generates like the unit for the money. Okay, the measure word for the money. So if you want to say like $1, $2, 一块钱 钱 is money. Okay, 一块钱 2块钱 Okay, then $10 like $100 100块钱 100块 Okay, for the money. And also if you want to say I want a piece of cake 一块 cake 一块 cake. Okay, so it's a piece. Anything like a piece of cake, a piece of pizza. Okay, so like 块. And 张 is a measure word for a sharp object. Okay, it's like paper or photo or tissue or even like a newspaper. Okay, it's not a complete newspaper. It can be like a slide of the newspaper. And then 杯 is cup. No matter a glass or a cup of tea, whatever, it's any kind of container like a cup, we can use this measure word. 杯 like 一杯咖啡, a cup of coffee. Okay, and then 瓶 and 罐 generally we will use for the container, right? 瓶 is bottle, 罐 is can. Okay, a bottle of cola, 一瓶 cola. Okay, 1 can of cola, 一罐 cola, 一罐 cola. Okay, 一瓶一罐. Then the next one, 量 Okay, so here you can see that the radical of these characters is the car. Okay, so you can see that is the measure for any kind of vehicle. For example, like a scooter, motorbike, train, bus, school bus, car, or any kind of vehicle. Okay, so and then this one is 科 is a measure for the things look like a bowl, right? It's wrong. Okay, it's like apple, candy, or even like any kind of ball, football, soccer, tennis, the ball, we can say, okay, 一颗球 it means ball, 一颗球. Then 支 okay, 支 is for the bar-shaped object like a pen, pencil, or umbrella, watch. Okay, any kind of things like had a bar-shaped object. Okay, 本 is for any kind of book. Okay, for example, like a dictionary, book, brochure, magazine, yeah, like this kind of things. Okay, we will say 本. And this 只 is for any animal. It's a measure for any kind of animal. Dog, bear, fish, or tiger. Okay, so you remember all of them? Okay, so let's try again. Okay, 个 is the most frequently used measure word. Okay, 杯 is for the cup. 支 is for any bar-shaped object. 量 is for any kind of vehicle, right? 位 is a measure word for a person, but in polite term. 瓶 is bottle. This 支 is for the animal. 张 is for the shape object, right? Like a photo, paper or tissue, even like a table, it's a flat object. And 块 it can use for the money, okay, and the cake, like a piece of something, okay. And 罐 is can, 1 can of cola, 1 can of beer. 本 is for any kind of book. 颗 is for anything looks like a bowl, right? So you ready? Okay, so here, now let's have some exercise, okay? Now I want you guys to tell me which measure word applied for these pictures shown on the slide, okay? So here, the first one, okay, these are the animal, so many kind of animal. So what measure word we can apply for the animals? Did you remember that? Yes, it's 只. Okay, remember it's the pronounced, but the characters, this one is the one for the animals, right? Okay, so 只. And how about this one? Okay, you can see that the balloon, candy, strawberry, watermelon, football, okay, basketball, a peach, and a lump, a cherry. So they are, the shape looks like a bowl, right? A round shape, okay. So what the measure word we will apply for those objects, okay, it's a round things like a bowl, right? So it is a 颗, the measure word is 颗, 一颗草莓, 3颗糖果, right? So we will use 颗 for the measure word for these things, okay? And then the next one, so tell me which measure word for these objects, okay? So what do they have something in common? Tell me. Yes, they are all bar-shaped objects, right? Okay, see that pen, like bar object, pencil, not so pencil, and a watch, even the cell phones. Okay, if you go fish, you need this one, okay, right? And the umbrella look like a bar shape, right? So, and even the golf for the things for the golf, right? So we will use this. 只一支笔, 一只手表, 一只手机. We will use this 只 for any bar-shaped object. Okay, 一只. Remember that? This is the characters for the bar-shaped object. Okay, then next one. Okay, look at that. Look at the left side. Okay, the picture on the left side. There are so many kind of glass cup, right? In many times for us, it's a cup. So what the measure word we will use for, if you want to talk about a cup of something, a cup of wine, a glass of wine, a glass of water, a cup of coffee, in many Chinese are the same, no matter it's glass or a cup. Okay, so in here, we will say 杯, 杯, 杯. Okay, right? And then here, you can see that that's all the books. Okay, the book, magazine. So what measure word we were talking about for this object? We use 本. Remember, 本 is the object for any kind of book. Okay, then here, let's see the left side, the picture on the left side. You can see that the flyer, right? The flyer, newspaper, and the pictures, right? A piece of papers, right? So what's the measure word we will use a slide, right? We will use 张. Remember, we have to curl your tongue spell word when you're going to pronounce 张 OK， 一张照片，一张传单，一张报纸，一张纸。Okay, so how about the right side? What the measure word we will use for the money, for the cake, right? Like a piece, right? A piece of pancake, a piece of cake, right? We use 块 10块 100块 500块 1000块钱 it means money. Okay, and 一块蛋糕5块松饼 pancake 5块 pancake. Okay, 一块马卡龙 Okay, we use 块. And then look at here. What measure word we will use for this? For the vehicle, right? Car, fire truck, motorbike, bicycle, even like a train, right? Okay, we will use 量 Good, 很好. Okay, so any question for the measure word for this 12 common measure word we have learning so far? Okay, so if you have no question, then let's move on to that exercise here. Okay, so here in this exercise, I would like to ask you, what is this? Those things are 书, the book, right? 书. So here, I would like to ask you, 有几本书? 有几本书? How many books are there? How many books are there? 有几本书? How many books are there? 几 is how many? How many books are there? Okay, so it would be yes, 1 2 3 4 5有5本书 How many books are there? You can just tell me 有5本书有5本书 There are 5 books. Okay, right. Okay. And here, how to say coffee in Mandarin Chinese? Did you remember that? Yes, 咖啡 right? So here I would like to ask you the same question here. 咖啡 is mean coffee, right? So I would like to ask you 有几瓶咖啡有几瓶咖啡 So how many bottles of coffee are there? How many bottles? Okay, pin is bottle. How many bottles of coffees are there? Okay, 2, 3. 1 2 3有3瓶咖啡有3瓶咖啡有几瓶咖啡有3瓶咖啡很好 Nice try. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, no matter what kind of pen, right? So here, simply we'll just say 笔 Those are the pen, right? 笔 So I would like to ask you, 有几支笔有几支笔 Okay, how many pens are there? 有几支笔4 5 6有6支笔有6支笔很好 Good, well done. And how about this one? There are 2 rabbits, right? 2 rabbits. So I would like to ask you, 有几只 rabbit? 有几只 rabbit? 1 2 So 有2只 rabbit, right? I hope you don't agree with that me, right? No. Remember, in Mandarin Chinese, when you are talking about the quantities, the number 2 have to use 2 instead. We have to use 2 instead of 2. Okay, when you are talking about quantities, right? So here we have to say 有2只 rabbit. 有2只 rabbit. And how about here? 有几杯？有几杯？ You might wondering why I don't say the noun. 几杯 juice or how many juice or how many something or champagne or wine or water. But because in here we only want to, the most important things we want to ask how many cup or how many glass are there. It doesn't matter the things inside the glass, right? So in this case, the nouns can be omitted. But the most important thing is the measure word we still have to remain, okay? Because we want to ask people how many cup, how many glass are there. So that's the reason you can not omit the measure words, okay? But the nouns can be omitted because we want to know how many cup, okay? So two, right? But you still have to say the measure word with the numbers. Two glass, 2 cup. Okay, you cannot just say 2 only. Okay, because now if you don't say the measure word, people don't know you are talking about the number or the quantities. Okay, quantities. So you have to say 2杯. No, I hope you won't say that. Remember, we have to say 2杯. Good. Before we finish the lesson today, let's review it to check if you have learned these measure words properly or not. Let's see the first one. When should we use the measure word? Yes, it's when we want to describe or indicate the quantities we will use the measure words, right? And where should we place the measure word in Mandarin Chinese? Good. We should place the measure word between the numbers and the noun. Between the numbers and the noun. And just one more thing, remember the nouns can be omitted. For example, if you want to say two glass of wine, two glass, you can just say 2 glass. And then you don't have to say 2 glass of wine. The wine can be omitted. Okay. And then tell me when should we say 2? When should we use 2? Remember that? Okay. It's when the number 2 go with measure word, we have to use 2 instead of 2. Number 2 go with measure word, we have to use 2 instead of 2. And then the 12 common measure words. Okay, tell me what is the measure word we frequently use? What the in Mandarin Chinese? What is the measure word we frequently use? 个 is a frequent use measure word in our daily life. 个. And what is the measure word we use for money? Money. 很好, nice try. 快 is the measure word we use for money. Also like a piece of something. Okay. So here, I just give you one idea. Remember that these 2 measure words we have the same pinyin syllabus, 知, but different characters. This 知 is for bar sharp objects. This 知 is for the animals, Okay, so just pay your attention to this measure word. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. Okay, so if you have any question about our Mandarin Chinese course or study in Taiwan, you can always visit our Facebook page or write an email to us. Thank you for watching our video today. Hope to see you soon. 谢谢，再见。